So my internet's real spotty right now, and I am having Chris get us to the NA.org site. So what we've been doing is virtual NA fellowship development. We've been and members from all over the globe have been getting information and consolidating it on NA.org. So if you go to NA.org and for the members, the very first tab is virtual NA or virtual meetings, sorry. And there is a bunch of individual information out there that we have. We have COVID-19 suggestions, locally developed resources. The big one that we want to point out are the YouTube channels with very valuable resources. There's a bunch of different information, and if you just want to watch some YouTube videos, they are all there. The next one is kind of the big part that I'm going to have Chris jump in and talk about, is the Google Drive with a bunch of resources in it. They have recently cleaned it up. It gives you a lot of different options. It gives you Zoom, Blue Jeans, how to do webinars, service meetings, PR and H&I, miscellaneous documents, and then they have the group tools and readings. It has individual readings, and it has meetings in all combined. There's a lot of different information in here. I am going to let Chris kind of walk through and talk about it a little bit.
I'm an actor named Chris. So this is actually Shane's Google Drive that we're sharing. So Dennis and myself went through and we just reorganized everything so it's easier to find. So when you actually click the link, you're going to be brought to this little page right here. Depending on what you're looking for, that should give you a direction. So if you're a group, you want information for your groups, your readings and all that, it's all right here. Combined readings, it's the single documents, but in every language that we have. So no matter who you are, where you are, we should have all the readings that you'd hear in NA meeting right here in this folder. You want them separately by language, here they are, same thing. White booklets, again, multiple languages in here. This is just for the groups right now, right? Head back, miscellaneous, this is exactly what that is. Right, so a lot of these videos that you see in here, the YouTube videos, are actually on the Virtual NA web YouTube channel. So you can go here, Shane owns this one too. All these videos, there's tons of webinars here, and at the bottom, a lot of the stuff that Shane was talking about for facilities is all right here. These training videos are incredibly useful. You can watch them on your smartphone, you can watch them on a PC, laptop, tablet, whatever. Like, they're very, very accessible. So that's why all this stuff is in here. Service work. Again, like everything that we have that we've been developing is in this. Everything that we continue to develop will be added to this Google Drive. So getting this link, which is going to be sent out, I hope, on an email list to all of you, you'll have access to all of this stuff. Like all the webinars Shane was talking about are all in here. Everything that you're going to need moving forward will be in here. The only things that we don't have are the stuff that we still have yet to create. You know, so as we do that, it gets added here. Like the PowerPoint that you're going to see today on the 7th tradition, once we show you guys what that is here today, it'll be added to this drive. Another resource in here. Everything that we do, we send here, and we want one location for all of this stuff. And then if it's not in this drive, it's on NA.org. So that's what we've been trying to do, give you one spot to go to find everything that you need.
Yeah, so the big thing that's been coming up lately is 7th tradition and how that works. We obviously don't endorse any one platform. So what we did is we tried to get the best of the most quote-unquote popular platforms that people use. So this is kind of what we came up with. And let her go, Chris.
Can we unmute Lewis?
Yeah, where's Lewis?
Yeah.
There he is.
All right. So the three of us worked on this together, and the reason why we wanted to talk about the 7th tradition is since everything got moved over to the virtual setting, all fund flow is pretty much stopped. A lot of groups are just starting now, 2 months into it, to be able to take group donations in some way, shape, or form. Areas and regions are still trying to do the same thing. So we felt like just making a PowerPoint explaining 3 of the major platforms that people have been using and the differences between them and where you could use them could be something that's useful. We're Narcotics Anonymous. We have a 7th tradition. It's not just financial, but it's kind of important to everything that we do here. Those of us that have been at the conference this week, we understand the significance of this. So we're trying to just kind of say we can still do this stuff virtually. Like, here's some options, here's some information. So the 3 of us worked on this. Doug will talk about Venmo. Lewis will talk about PayPal. I'll talk about Zelle. Actually, Lewis, do you just want to start with this? Because the first few slides are yours anyway.
Oh, they are? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about various different 7th tradition options on here. And you know, it's a whole new animal, as we've all discovered, and it's like the fund flow doesn't stop. I mean, my meeting doesn't have to pay rent right now, and we're not keeping a stock of literature, but someone does have a, you know, we're using a Zoom account without endorsing it, you know, and so there are a lot of questions come up as if we do want to have some sort of a 7th tradition. If for nothing else, to make donations up the, you know, down the service is what we're doing. And so, as with any 7th tradition donation, you know, the treasurer does need to track the donations, and before the business meeting, doing accounting. And my home group met last night, and guess what? I'm the treasurer, and I did an accounting. We'll get to how we do it in a minute. And part of the challenge with these different platforms is it's impossible to keep them not commingled with personal funds. I mean, I have a PayPal account, which is a personal account, but they wouldn't let me set up a separate account just for my home group. And so, you know, I guess we have to rely on integrity of our trusted servants, don't we? It's like, oh, geez, how hard is that? So we've got to do it. I mean, their problem with me is that I can't add very well, but oh well. And so then, you know, basically you just have to keep extra track of it. And now our area is meeting on Sunday. It usually meets the 2nd Sunday, but because of Mother's Day, we meet the 1st Sunday in May. And I don't know yet whether our area is accepting donations, but if it doesn't, we can donate it to Region and to World. And when we're done with this presentation, I'd like to do a couple screen shares of what we've done on our region in my area so that you can see what we're doing. Next slide, please. Venmo.
And now we're in a Venmo for Doug.
Yeah,
All right.
Yeah, go ahead, Doug.
So Venmo, the kind of couple cool things that I ran into when I was looking into this, Venmo is actually owned by PayPal, so they are working on an integration between the two. It's not out yet, but Venmo is also the #1 person-to-person platform to change money. So if you and your friends go out to, you know, burgers, you can split the cost. So Venmo is the most widely used, and it's the easiest that I have found in the group setting. So a couple of the benefits, it's quick and easy, person-to-person money transfer. There's over 40 million users. Most people have it. Unlike its competitors, Venmo does not charge users to send or receive money person-to-person. It does not need to have any personal information to use the account. The challenges that I found with Venmo is there is a 3% for every credit card transaction and 25 cents to transfer to your bank account. The worst part for any kind of service structure is limitations on what you can transfer, which is why I believe that Venmo is the best for a group level. Venmo is global. I saw that in the chat. It is used worldwide. But the max transfer amount is $299.99 per week. and you can't add up 4 weeks and get more. All right.
Next, we're going right into PayPal for Lewis.
Darn it, I muted myself again. Okay. You know, PayPal can be set up so deposits go directly to a bank account. My region does it that way. My home group does it to my PayPal, and I just take the money, and hopefully they'll get over it. And then if there is no bank account, the treasurer can set up a personal PayPal account, which I do. And you know, and basically I copied you can get a personal link from PayPal and put it in the chat. I guess I could show you that, but I don't want donations right now. But you don't need to have a PayPal account to make a donation, which is a good thing about it. At least I don't think you do. You don't have to. You know, and also whereas credit cards do have fees, debit cards don't. And you can also set it up to get a direct deposit to your checking account. That does avoid fees. Credit cards do have fees. Next slide, please. Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum. Here we go. And so basically, you can create a PayPal Me button, and here's a few directions to do it. Essentially, just go to the PayPal account, create account in or sign in, click on the request button to get your PayPal Me link, and then you can link to the share on your PayPal Me, and then you know, the link looks something like PayPal Me / your name ID basically, and then just copy the link into the chat room of your whatever meeting resource you're using. Next slide, please. Challenges of it is that there are fees for credit cards. It requires sharing ATM, credit card, and bank account numbers with PayPal, not with the recipient. It's not anonymous either. I mean, when someone makes a donation, I know who it is. You know, first and last names, and they know who I am as if I really care, but you never know. Anyway, and the benefits of it are that it's easy and that there are no ATM card charges. And I think that's it for now. And then when we're done, I can just share a few things from my screen if you guys want me to.
Yep.
Thank you,
Lewis. So now we're going to talk about Zelle real quick. Zelle is probably the least popular option out of all these. And the only reason why we want to put Zelle on here is because of its connection to banks. So Zelle would not be a good option, or it can be used at a group level, but it wouldn't be best at a group level. It would be best between areas and regions because you're able to send larger sums of money without paying any fees whatsoever. It goes directly from one bank account to the next. The thing about Zelle is it doesn't charge a fee to send or receive money. The banks and credit unions, most of them already offer it. Zelle's paired up, I don't think I have it on the slide, but like 817 banks across the United States. They offer it. So if you do online banking, you have the option to use Zelle free. You can use it on the smartphone app or on online banking on a computer. Like I said, you can send money from one service body to the next without paying any fees. That's the thing. So when we talk about group donations and you're using PayPal, it's only like, what, 2.3%, I think, for a nonprofit. That's not a huge number. But if you're sending a few $1,000s from one service body to the next, that's a bigger number. So this type of service would avoid paying any of those fees, and it's an instant transfer. It's still a money transfer app, just like PayPal, just like Venmo, but it's direct from bank to bank. I'm going to stress that. Like Venmo has like a holding tank. The money will go into that and then be transferred out of that. This goes directly from one bank account into another bank account instantly. And this is why it's on here, right? It's best to be used between areas and regions, and to be a fee-free method, which is, again, if you're just trying to save 2% on a few hundred or a few $1,000s, this is a really good option to use for that. It's seamless, but you do need a bank account. You can set it up with either just a phone number or an email address. So an area or region that has a treasurer's email address can be used to set up Zelle. It's connected to your banking account. Zelle is worldwide as well. I saw that in chat. So those are the three major ones. These are not the only ones. There's Cash App that's out there too. I see there's Google Pay. People have been talking about in chat. These are all additional tools that we can use moving forward. We just thought these three, we highlighted these three because the first two, Venmo and PayPal, the most widely used. The reason why, like I said, a Zelle is on here is because when you're going from service body to service body, it's probably, in my opinion, like one of the better ideas. To send money from Venmo to your area or to the region, you can still do this, but there is a limit. And if that area is going to send money to a region, you can either do an electronic check virtually, like bank account, or just use Zelle. It's the same thing. So that's what we have for our 7th tradition. Any questions?
Did you have a couple more things, Louis? We have time if you had something else
Yeah.
you wanted to share first.
Okay.
Done.
Yeah, I just thought I'd share a couple of things that we're doing in Chicagoland, if I may. Screen share. There we go. Doesn't have what I wanted to share on it. Okay, well, I'll start with this. You know, my area does have a Facebook page, and we did create a series of links showing all the meetings that have changed into virtual format. Most are using Zoom, but we do have a couple that are using phones. I mean, and yes, there are a few meetings in my area that are still meeting face to face. As regional facilitator, I just look the other way and respect group autonomy. And then what I thought I would do is just show you our regional page, because on our regional page here, we do have a whole information regarding COVID-19 across, et cetera, and so forth. We are, you know, we do have a bunch of online meetings. You know, there are some brand new meetings that started since then. You know, and we also have some other things here. Meetings currently closed. These are all our areas. Most Mid-City has all their meetings closed. North City does not, which is where I live. But I'm looking the other way, allowing group autonomy. That's pretty much all I had. If it's helpful, and we do have a donation button on here somewhere. I should know. I don't know where it is. Anyway, we do have one on here which allows donations via. Here it is. Donate now. Allows donations via PayPal that goes to our region account. So that's it.
Great. Thank you.